Hey everybody, my name is Trevor2 and welcome back to Reverse 1999 for something that just came out recently. Now, the banner for Noire just came out early, and along with her story, The Great Trickster. So we're going to be doing, well, we're going to probably just figure things out here and there. So the lights are dim and the chairs are soft. Please take a seat. Forget the spilled popcorn in the corner, and forget yourself in this retreat. Stories are but well-told lies. This is a truth, bittersweet. So I'm not sure if I want to try and do this here. Maybe a survey, maybe, but I don't know if I want to try this. But let's go ahead and enter Noire's story. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. Okay, a little introduction here. The art of storytelling in film began the moment directors realized the audience could weave meaning between scenes.
Thus came in the technique of montage.
Yeah. Everybody loves a good montage, right? Delicate blue light sculpts the edge of Noire's cheekbone. In her eyes, the reflection of a glowing screen. Once sound was only a dream, then a distant companion, onward until sound and image became inseparable, and now we live in an era of digital editing. The screen's flashes reflect in Noire's eyes. What will come next? Movies projected straight from my mind to the audience, or visuals seamlessly streamed into theirs? Beneath the rapid flicker of the convex screen lies a colorful composition, formed by thousands of units distorted faintly along the curved glass. Noire slides the cursor with precision, placing a clip neatly onto the editing timeline. The tools get slicker, but the core of a story? It's the same old song we've always sung. Trim, select, position, merge.
Try as we might to disguise it, stories are just lies with good marketing.
Beneath a crescendo of keystrokes and mouse movements, Noire's pointer shifts her video segments from one track to another. On the screen, the man's tear-streaked face hangs in the delicate balance between despair over death and elation for rebirth. A single crisp noise, and then all is dark. Power outage? There is nothing in the silence, nothing but the dark. The fan keeps spinning for a moment longer, dwindling to a stop under its own inertia. A blackout. That is the worst thing that can happen to an editor when making a video. Other than that, every single one part of your works is just going to be gone. That's frustrating. The neighborhood outside is a curtain of darkness. At least that confirmation saves her the trouble of another breaker box routine. Damn it, the footage I just cut. Don't tell me it's all lost. There's no way this software it doesn't autosave, right? So this is the curse of new tech, huh? Cutting edge, but unreliable when it really matters. I guess every solution starts off as a band-aid for disaster. Thank God it was just some test footage. If it were an actual film. Noire drums her fingertips on the rim of her wheel, the sharp clicks and soft reverberations grounding her, a reminder not to linger too long in hypotheticals. If this were an actual film, I'd be hitting save every few minutes just to keep sane. That's the truth, because I do the same thing. I stop every 20 minutes of my recordings to see if it doesn't like mess up on me. Yeah. After composing herself, Noire tilts to one side, her voice calm and low as she speaks to the wheelchair. Two puppets on either side of her wheels move deftly in response, ushering Noire to her studio. Noire's set, as she calls it. Short as it is, but it is just an intro. Alright, so again... Oh, I I didn't mean to click it. I was trying to read. I was trying to look to see how many things I have. I'm gonna say it's 8. Maybe. Even in the pitch dark, Noire manages her way into the studio with ease. Am I too loud? Sorry about that. Asing, fire up the spare generator. Ajiu. Ado. Get the lights. The trio of puppets scurry out from the wheelchair, their small animated figures fuzzing noisily before the miniature generator starts whirring. Shadows shift as her puppets flit through the darkness. With the generator now humming, one of them hurries toward the spotlight. The puppet fumbles in the darkness, misaligning its aim. The spotlight beams into Noire's eyes, still fragile from the lack of light. Reacting on impulse, Noire raises her hand against the light. Her displeasure saturates the puppet's wooden minds like an unspoken command. In its rush to fix the spotlight, the puppet Ajiu trips over the complex mesh of wires in the shadows, setting off a cascade of entanglements. Like a row of dominoes collapsing in the dark, the chaos builds with each moment careening into disaster. So that's a do. The other puppets freeze on the spot, their wooden limbs stiff with hesitation, while Ajiu, overwhelmed, twists and writhes on the floor, its non-existent wooden spine bending in imagined distress. The war has twisted away from the lamp as she slowly allows her eyes to adjust to the red twilight. I am trying not to yawn as much. Oh, and that's why I always don't get the pronunciations right when I'm reading or narrating. Surrounded by vivid red, Noire's gaze locks onto the clear divide between her dark silhouette and the glowing wall. Red is blood and passion. It's also the fading light of dusk, the fires of damnation, and the tenderest warmth. She lets her mind now alight with ideas, flowing seamlessly into the fiery crimson hue. The confusion clouding Ajiu's mind fades as it figures out how to move its own body. It seems unsure how or even whether it should rectify its misstep. Stop. Ajiu's extended hand is suspended in the air, and the red light's edge swells around her shadow. Yawning. Flames, fire, the genesis of civilization. Creation and destruction, an endless cycle, eternal and unstoppable. Noire lets her mind wander, drinking in the vivid singular hue. Catching the ripples of her delight, Ajiu folds over and lies flat on the floor. Flames, my desire, swelling and rising, devouring with every breath. She traces the curves of her hand, imagining a tiny fire resting within her palm. This fire is what has kept me burning. Red 1980. We're going back, y'all. I'm guessing way before she was in the wheelchair. Well, I'd be damned. You've actually got a professional setup going on here. So we're literally going back into 1980, the past, where everything's just the three of them, right? Huijin and Qixing enter behind Noire. The stale air in the room is punctuated by the soft clack of Qixing's lollipop tapping her teeth. The sound feels heavy, as if dropping to the floor before it can travel any further. Square boxes, boxes with lights, boxes with buttons. What's the deal with all the stuff? Qixing's eyes sweep across the room, finding little to be impressed with. Her hand comes to hover over some machinery. She gives it a curious tap before her fingers inch toward the inviting buttons. This stuff costs more than most people make in a lifetime. Again, she's gorgeous. Jixing scoffs, hovering her fingers over the tempting buttons. It's probably best if you don't touch anything, and it might be a good idea to put on some slippers while you're in here. She tugs on Jixing's clothing, tilting her head up so that it nearly rests on her shoulder. Being shorter, if just barely, she always finds herself tilting her head up toward her. She avoids meeting Jixing's eyes. I wonder why. Sorry about that. Slippers are by the door. They're disaffected. Grab any pair that fits. Jixing scans her eyes over to a cabinet filled with identical white slippers. Here, whoever Jin. I really don't know if I got these pronunciations right. Accustomed to the routine. Can I just say Teresa? Like, I am always trying to properly pronounce these names, but I find it easier to find other names on these characters. They give each other nicknames. Trades her boots for slippers and sets her footwear by the door. You must get a lot of traffic in here to have all those things. There always seems to be someone that needs to go over things here. Noire strides over to the printer, looking back with a half smile. Let me guess, you forgot the script we gave you, right? We're going to need it. Don't worry, I'll print out another copy, Teresa. Would you go through the notes I jotted down earlier? Of course. Jixing casts a sharp look at Noire before following Teresa to the slipper rack, giving no thought to the size. So, you said you make movies, eh? Anything that I would have seen? Do any of those posters look familiar to you? Yeah, I am yawning. Noire's reply drips with condensation. The tension feels like a rubber band about to snap. With every intention of ignoring the posters, she leans over the devices near her, trying to decipher their English labels. She scans them methodically before arriving at a particular oddity. Is this a handheld camera? How old is this thing? She takes the bulky handheld camera and turns it over in her hands, scrutinizing it from all angles. That's the first camera I've ever owned. It's been with me for more than a decade. I've never had the heart to let it go. A decade? Jixing looks up with damn it, not again. Okay, let me start over. Jixing looks up with unconcealed astonishment. Cameras like this have only just started showing up in the local markets. It's a Super 8 camera. I think I was 16 when I got it. You've been shooting movies since you were a kid? Noire nods. That's around the same age I started writing scripts. About 15 or 16? You two go that far back then? She places the camera down delicately, as if it were a priceless antique. Tell you the truth, it is a priceless antique. Actually, we met at university. We were in the same class. Oh. Jixing returns to the camera before shifting back to the duo as they set out their papers. I would have just been another girl pouring drinks at a street corner ice house. Making movies was never been on my radar. Until I happened to be there to scare off some creep trying to hit on a girl. Now you two weirdos are telling me I'm a lead actress material? She eyes them from head to toe and back again, trying her best to conceal her real thoughts. She bridges the lingering silence again. See? She suddenly feels the urge to withdraw into the silence, but that's never been her way. Less than an hour ago, I stepped into a high-end car, stepped out into a mansion, ditched my busted-up sneakers at the door, and walked into someone else's life. I always figured life-changing moments came out at you with a bang, like an egg exploding in a microwave, something you could pinpoint down to the second. But it's funny, once you're finally in your stride, you forget exactly where it all began. All I know is I feel like this is a whole new stage for my life. So Chixing removes the lollipop from her mouth. Keeping her composure, she turns back around, determined not to show her growing sense of envy. So, how did all of this start out? Start out? You mean when did we start working together? Jin glances quickly at Noire's turned back. Not that. I mean just finding your passion and sticking with it. She had loved painting once, then playing the harmonica, but her passion for them always dwindled away. The struggle for survival and sustenance grew like an overinflated balloon, leaving no room for anything else in her mind. Steering clear of her father's former cellmates, covering rent for the month, staying alive, figuring out how to spend even less just to get by, endlessly innovating new ways to make it to the next day. She had fought every day against life, against hunger, and strict reform school teachers, while these two indulged in their hobbies, basking in the gentle warmth of privilege. Is this what the world looks like behind the spotless marble walls? I just wanted to write, so I did, and I kept at it. Chixing waits, but Teresa seems to have flustered over what to say. She works better with a pen in hand, crossing out and rewriting words until her ideas take shape.
開頭
It started as a simple slip of the tongue. Noire, still standing at the printer, picks up the dropped conversation. I remember my mother reading me a bedtime story. She told me that the princess shouldn't have taken a bite of that apple. But I couldn't help thinking, how would that even make any sense? Then the princess would be stuck in that cottage with those weird bearded guys forever. The story would lose all of its appeal. And then I asked myself, what if she didn't eat the apple? Then what would happen next? I imagined her finding a bear, one followed by a hunter, or perhaps saving a villager that she'd fall in love with. The printer drones on as Noire gathers a portion of the script and turns to face Chixing. That's when I decided I'd create my own stories. Sounds like you should have been a screenwriter like Little June here. Hearing someone over 10 years her junior call her Little June, Teresa feels compelled to say something but ultimately bites back her words. Words weren't enough for me. Flipping through that fairy tale, I came to a conclusion. Pictures could carry my story farther than words ever could. But even that wasn't enough. I wanted to be taken seriously. And what was taken seriously? Movies, television, mediums that captivate the masses. Each movie image adds layers of the story, then the music, each part amplifying the narrative.
所以
That's why I picked up a camera, because I wanted to tell my story through its lens. But even now, it still isn't enough. It isn't enough. Noire flips on the television. The screen depicts a reel of film burning. I've seen this before. Chixing's memories recede back to a moment in time, ducking into the dark of the movie theater to escape her father's rougher acquaintances. I knew from the first time I saw it that this was more than just a movie for this guy. He was always chasing something bigger, chasing the light, chasing the shadows. His camera was pointed right at the rising sun, just as dawn broke. He wanted that shot so bad that he'd let the sun cook his eyes and burn his film. He got his dawn, and then it got him. Did the man went blind? Still, you've got to hand it to the guy.
原來
So you're familiar with my work after all. Noire says as if confirming the obvious.
It was my first hit. The one that really made a name for me in the industry.
The film's last frame was a pure block of red. That's all it took for people to box me into a style. You could say that red gave me everything, but it but then it took it all away. Huh? I think there was an accident. Oh. Hey, what's this? It's another puzzle, ain't it? Even while she sleeps, her mind and consciousness remain active, constantly engaged. Here, creativity and inventiveness take form, ready to be brought to life upon waking. Now, let's see if we can turn it all into reality. Hang on a second. Tap or hold the left and right arrow buttons to move the puppet around. Note that holding down these buttons may inadvertently skip certain tutorial pop-ups. Try moving around by tapping the buttons intermittently. There's a green box covering a blue tile ahead. Try moving closer and pushing it aside. The ground beneath your feet seems a bit different. Let's find a way to make it disappear in order to proceed. So we tap this button to select and change the color of Noire's mind space. So when her space is turned blue, all blue objects will blend into the background and disappear for a time being. Be careful, the spikes below will sever the connection between the puppet and Noire's consciousness. Find a safe route through. So, let me see. I think we better turn on the red. The springboard lets you jump one tile in the direction you're moving. Use it to cross the spikes safely. Watch out for the green blocks ahead. They are stacked in a way that can't be pushed, so find a way to make them disappear for the time being. Maybe... Here we go. Then I assume we climb up the ladder, so we tap this button to climb the film reel staircase. Their destination is just ahead. Reach it, and creativity and inventiveness will spring to life with a new day. So I can push the button here to climb up here. And there we go. I think that's it. That's actually pretty cool. A Metroidvania style type of puzzle. Now I was looking at this again. Yes, there are going to be 7 parts this time. I didn't think it were 8 parts. So on to stage 2, blue this time. And I'm guessing there are going to be more of those Metroidvania type of puzzles here. So, yeah. Miss Noire. Vitals are stabilizing. We should begin immediate. I'm sorry, but the patient is still unconscious. She can't answer your questions right now. 1982, and its color is blue. Why blue, though? I'm guessing we're in a hospital. And I think Noire just got involved in an accident. The instant Noire opens her eyes, agony ripples through her body, fracturing into a haze of static that clears to reveal a sterile blue hospital. But her own suffering is not what first comes to mind. Yeah, even if she just got into an accident, that's her thought right here as a director. What's the progress of the film? What's been going on? Her assistant springs to attention the moment she hears Noire's voice, like a puppet pulled up on a string. And that's Lynn. You're awake. Her last recollection is vivid. The glare of harsh light, a feeling of weightlessness, the crushing impact, and the sound of shattering glass. Pain and panic creeping in. The flow of her breath carries the words out of her mouth weakly. Still muddled by her scattered, dreamlike stupor, the urgency of it overcoming all obstacles. The film is on hold for now. Everyone was too exhausted to go on, so I suggested they go home and rest. The writing team's still brainstorming on the big climax. They need more time to get it down. It was precisely the climactic moments of her last film, Shadow Spy, that were failing to meet both her investors and her own expectations. The crew had been running on overdrive for months, striving to produce a cut that could satisfy both parties. Your first priority should be resting up. I need to get home. Her studio is studio there was more than just a workspace for Noire. It was her. It was where her thoughts came into alignment, where so many scripts had been given life.
跟住落嚟，
Considering your current state, I think staying here will be the wisest choice. Not one to repeat herself, Noire tries to sit up, but her body doesn't move with her. Pain. It shoots up from her spine, burrowing into her brain. It spreads to her arms, as if biting through the marrow of her bones, until it stops. A flash of pity passes across her assistant's face. Her legs don't hurt at all. They're still there, limply splayed out under the hospital gown, yet Noire cannot spur them to move. Lynn is sitting at the edge of her bed. She seems to wordlessly offer 1,000 apologies, but it isn't her fault. You don't remember, do you? The car accident after leaving the set? You suffered severe nerve damage. Lynn quickly follows up with another statement, trying to soften the blow. But the doctors think there might be a chance you can recover. Did they find whoever did this to me? She falls back into the bed, allowing her head to sink fully into the hospital pillow. The police came by while you were out. The doctor said they'd notified them when you woke up. How long do I need to be here? They said you'll have to go through some rehabilitation. I don't know how long. The doctor wanted to wait until you were awake. Noire lifts her chin, attempting a nod. What about the script? It was in the car with me. What's left of your car will be in the impound lot. Everything inside it is probably going to be evidence. But I printed a fresh copy for you. Let me know if it looks okay. I've also attached some new outlines from the writers for you to think over.
多謝.
She takes the script and presses a button on her morphine injector before leaving through the pages. I'd like to be alone now. Lynn holds a look at her employer for a brief moment. Alright, get some rest. Once the door is shut, Lynn leans against the hallway corridor, breathing as if she had just avoided her own near-death experience. Before she can compose herself, she notices that her colleagues have arranged themselves nearby.
點啊？
So, Her Highness has finally awakened? Yeah.
佢咩反應啊？
Did she take the news? How did she take the news? She seems calm. Of course, she'd never let herself break down in front of you. Meanwhile, we're one all-nighter away from a meltdown.
喂，你話呢？
After all that she's put us through, doesn't it kind of make you believe in karma? What do you think? Was it someone on the crew behind the wheel of that other car? Place your bets. It doesn't matter how it happened. At least we'll finally get a little break.
唉，
Maybe not so little. Do you think the film can survive this? As the realization jumps from person to person, all eyes turn to Lynn. Lynn, you know that company we asked you to look into? Have you heard anything back from them? Yeah, but the pay definitely won't be higher than what we're getting now. Can you handle that?
好過有錢冇命使啊！
Honestly, I think we're trading years off of our lives for this paycheck. I'm not sure. As much hell as this job can be, at least it pays the bills. Each coworker vents their own particular grievances, fading out from the griping. Lynn steals a glance through the narrow hospital window. Noire has propped herself up against her pillow, absent-mindedly biting down an empty ballpoint pen while sketching storyboards onto the script using the exposed ink cartridge. She hasn't even bothered to pull a blanket over her legs. Alright. The guilt creeps in, no matter how bad things could get. Complaining about someone at a time like this? Everyone should head home and get some rest. Sticking around for our diva, huh? I don't envy you, Lynn. Alright, we'll be off then. Bye. Their farewell is light and casual. Their voices distort as they disappear down the busy hallway. I mean, I'm not sure how bad it is to work under Noire. Try to bring a satisfied things there and there, but I'm not sure if she's being too much of a perfectionist here. And of course, she overhears it. The door's not soundproof. They're just employees to me. I don't care what they say or think, so long as they follow my directions. And they don't impede my vision. But I can't let this reach a point where it interferes with my work. Yeah, hospitals tend to have thin walls. Miss Noire, the nurse just came by with some news. Oh. Having dealt with some paperwork, Lynn returns to the ward to find Noire sitting up in bed with a vacant expression. Her legs are dangling off the side of the bed. Her gown is damply sticking to her legs. Lynn rushes over. I could use some more water. She notices the thermos on the ground by the bed, steam rising from the open top. Hot water? She hurriedly frees up her hands to grab the thermos, only to realize that Noire's feet are dripping scalding water onto the floor. What was she doing? The heat has turned the skin of her feet bright red, yet her face is blank and emotionless. Does it hurt? She knows the answer, but looking at the burns running down her leg, she can't help but feel the pain for her.
冇感覺.
I didn't feel a thing. It was as if the burnt skin had nothing to do with her at all. Lynn hesitates, her hands slackening, and Noire's legs slide roughly back into the bed. Sorry. What is it?
Sorry.
My hand slipped. That's not what I'm asking about. Noire looks at Lynn like she would reel a film. Did you have something to do with the crash? No. Then why do you have so much guilt in your eyes? Because Lynn opens her mouth, but the words catch in her throat, and she avoids answering the question. I apologize. I didn't mean anything by it. This is how it's always been. Once she promises to change, Noire stops challenging her. I'm not reprimanding you. I just want to know, why do you keep looking at me like that? There's no anger in her voice at all, even now with her legs burnt and the water on the floor silently spreading beneath the bed. Because Lynn can't bring herself to look her in the eye, but she knows Noire will not give up without an answer. I sympathize with you. Sympathy. The word hangs over her head, like a thought just out of reach. Sorry. No need to apologize. Sympathy. I guess I was right after all. Noire picks up the script and writes the word of the final blank page. Sympathy. She says it again, scoffing this time. Perhaps that's why the perfect climax has always eluded me. Her pen draws rings around the word. It's a natural emotion. Teresa, I'm sure, would have appreciated it, accepted it for what it is, but I won't. But I'm filming a movie, something for the masses. I need that kind of resonance for the masses. It has nothing to do with you. She looks up at Lynn.
唔使㗎.
No need to sympathize with me. This accident, it's no big deal, because it won't stop me from making my films. I won't see this as some kind of setback, as long as it doesn't get in the way of filming. The conviction in her words begins to turn Lynn's sympathy into something else. Lynn is almost ashamed to have felt sorry for her.
Okay.
She nods. It isn't her place to set her limits. Not now. So, what were you saying? Oh. Lynn looks down at her, now empty hands, and begins searching the room. spotting the accident report resting half-soaked by the dissipating patches of water. It must have slid off the table onto the floor during the commotion. The words have already blurred on the waterlogged pages as Lin yanks it from the floor. It's your accident report. I thought you might want to read it. Noire takes the damp stack, flipping straight to the conclusion.
係咩?
I ran a red light, did I? Noire's brow tightens.
但係我記得
No,
明明係綠燈
No.
㗎。
No, it was a green lights all the way. I'm sure of that. She turns to the window, catching sunlight reflecting from the trees. I honestly don't know what to say about that. If some moron accidentally ran a red light and accuses her of seeing just green, red lights all the way, or just green lights all the way. Well, speaking of green lights, let's go to stage 3, green. Pardon me. A bundle of white paper is tossed into the brazier. This isn't a bad spot. She lounges in her wheelchair, watching the distant lake with a narrowed gaze. The setting sun's light is refracted into countless golden streaks over its waves.
我嚟遲咗。
Looks like I'm late, Jun. It took longer than I expected to get from my wheelchair to the driver's seat. Hmm.
點啊？
Looks like it took you a few months. The voice drips with unveiled disgust. Noire closes her eyes in resignation. You don't seem so worse for wear. With Teresa gone, their mutual dislike had festered into something truly unpleasant. Qixing walks between Noire and Huijin's grave, placing the flowers carefully on her tombstone. I'm not sure why I'm surprised you'd find a way to hate me after all this time. Qixing looks back in anger, her eyes like arrows aimed at Noire. So this is a time after Huijin passed away. Surprised? Really? Why would you be surprised? Didn't you get an inkling of it at her funeral? Oh right, you weren't there. Noire freezes up, an immovable object to Qixing's unrelenting force. It would be wiser for them both if there was a change of topic. You're the one who has been bringing these flowers. Yeah? What's it to you? You're never here. You don't deserve to be here.
咁你呢?
She puts her on the back foot without reply.
我只係
I want to set things right. I messed up the ending of CO7, and now I gotta live with it. Qixing lowers herself until her head finds a crooked rest on the gravestone. Reunion of the Three Swallows. I should have told her sooner. I actually liked it.
但係
Now it's too late. Too damn late. Noire guides her puppets to push the wheelchair forward, her hand patting softly in Qixing's shoulder. It's not your fault. We already shielded her from so much of this. If Teresa had to face the expectations of for CO7 too, it would have only been worse for her. I'm sure you have some idea about how far-fetched our investors can be with their profit margins. The banal words find a deep purchase in her. Qixing clenches the grave until her knuckles are white.
咁就要用阿君條命嚟換咩?
Qixing at last realizes whose hand is on her shoulder. She shoves the hand aside, standing up to distance herself from Noire. She wasn't meant to have an ending like this! Not her! Not CO7!
407絕對唔會向嗰啲人低頭。嗰個結局係你哋對佢嘅扭曲。
Her gaze falls to the photo stuck on the black gravestone, her fingers unconsciously tracing it. June opened my eyes to a whole new way of life. Without her, I'd just be another rat scurrying the alleyways of this godforsaken city. She didn't do one damn thing wrong. It was you and this company.
我要退出新藝術公司。
Jishing turns and walks away, uninterested in Noire's response. She moves swiftly along the narrow trail between the tombstones. The weight of her thoughts drags her head down.
我應該早啲嚟嘅。
2 months prior, near the set of Shadow Spy. A sudden recollection makes Noire slam her fist into the steering wheel. It's always market viability with them, isn't it? This is supposed to be the CO7's most intense outburst in the film.
情感，又係情感。
Noire pulls off to the shoulder of the road. The busy street pulses with the sound of speeding cars behind her. It's just a matter of time until a motorcycle patrol will pass by to slap her with a ticket. Her nerves are fried from lack of sleep, and she's been working herself to exhaustion, trying to fix the troubles plaguing Shadow Spy.
我應該點做好啊 ？Teresa，
The moment she speaks her name, her death is that much more tangible, more real. She was in the middle of a planning session with when the news came in. She didn't stop then. She didn't let it hit her. She kept trying to outrun her grief. But it hit her all the same. While revisiting her protagonist's key scenes with the crew, Noire catches Lynn jotting down the time for Regin's funeral. What's the point? To say a few words in front of the cold stone? It won't bring her back. She won't hear any of our voices again. Do you think the soul really exists? What do you think, Teresa? Are you out there? Are you listening? Hello, Teresa? A long, dreadful silence follows, and Noire's lips curl into a sickening smile. What the hell am I doing? Back in her car now, she fumbles her hand into her glove box, retrieving a painfully empty cigarette case. The case flies out from the car window. A second passes, and she forces herself to get out to get it. She twists the crinkled gold foil into a strip and slips it into her mouth. The flimsy taste of tobacco only makes her more restless. She kicks her car door in frustration. A script, from who knows how long ago, slides down from the back seat. Shadow Spy. It's got the blockbuster appeal her investor wanted. A few innovative concepts to please herself, and some big names for marquee. Still, Noire can't shake the feeling that the script isn't good enough. She and Teresa used to read through the new scripts on their own first, then meet to share their interpretations. The only marks on the script are her own. Teresa had already left the production before the latest script was printed, and now she was gone.
何日君
When they first met, Noire only knew that she was Teresa, a girl with an elegant, if slight figure and an appreciation for stories. It was only when that graceful girl first spoke of Hong Kong that she realized that they had a home in common. Yet, though she knew she had another name, between them it had always been Teresa, and just as she had always been Noire. But Huijin is etched on her tombstone. The name of her friend had died with her.
你再幫下我啦。
Noire is overwhelmed by a sudden impulse, a drive that almost seems to defy all reason.
Like the old days.
When we were in my studio, at my place. The engine fires up, causing the car to rumble. Head to Teresa's grave. Help me find the location. I'm sure Lynn's probably marked it in my planner somewhere. At her command, the puppets spring into motion, searching for the location and then proudly displaying their discovery. That's it. With a shift of gears and a push of the pedal, the engine growls forward. Her vehicle cuts through the dust, vanishing into the distant darkness of the asphalt road ahead. And thus the accident happens. So there I am, too tired and too wired. Every light I saw was green in me, even the red one. Then bam. A gentle gust of wind brushes past, flipping the white paper in the brazier over. The other side of the white paper is filled with words, losing a battle slowly to the growing fire.
而家我終於見到你啦，阿坤。
You were always the people pleaser, bending over backwards to meet everyone's expectations. And then you stand in the background with that "don't mind me" smile on your face, making them all forget just how crucial you were. You're gone. I get that. But how the hell am I supposed to let you go? Blackened fragments of paper and gray ash intertwined with the ribbon of red below her. Show me what I need to see. Just one last time. The heat lifts the sparks, sending them over to the rich green and shimmering orange, until they vanish from view. Grief. Just grief. And another thing to do. So, what the hell? What is this? Okay. Let's go with red this time. Then, I guess blue? Yeah. Wait. Alright. Did I somehow mess up? I think I'll go green here. And can I move the red here? I think I got it. I just noticed that there's a platform right here. In Noire's mind space, a certain contraptions must be activated to unlock the path forward. When the puppet or another object is placed on the contraption, it stays activated. Once moved away, the contraption resets. Alright, then I guess we climb up here. Let's move on to the red. To the blue. Hang on a second. Could I? No. Alright, let's try red again. Nope, never mind. Oh, alright. Let's move here. Alright, I keep missing the colors here. Alright, then green. Move up here. Then up here. There we go. Alright, my brain works perfectly. Okay, so to part 4, purple. So I think there's more colors that are title colors here, so let's see. At a random office. On the sofa, a script wriggles like silkworm struggling inside its cocoon. The newspaper reads, "Shadow Spy sinks. Noire churns out box office bomb." It's not the art exhibit calling. They don't give invites to failures.
Alam.
It's Lynn. High heels rapidly pounding the concrete draw near, followed by the spilling of papers on the ground. What's wrong, Mr. Wah?
Huh?
Huh?
點解啊?
You're always wearing that purple outfit lately. What happened to the other one you used to wear? It's just old. It just got old. I don't wear it anymore.
我都幾鍾意喎.
She likes that one? Can you pick up the phone, please? Thank God. Who was that on the phone just now? Just the usual telemarketers, nothing important. Lynn sighs as she ponders how long it's been since she stopped reacting to those calls. Here's today's paper, the company documents you never bothered with, and this is... Lynn opens the envelope and quickly scans through its contents.
一封勒索信.
Of course, blackmail. Really? Noire's interest peaks as she reaches out, gesturing for Lynn to help her up from the couch. Give it here.
唔該.
Miss Noire, hello. If you don't want this photo to go public, deposit 1, 2, 3, 4... Only 4 zeros? Into this account by tomorrow? The deadline was 3 days ago. So that's an empty threat. Lynn. Noire flashes Lynn a reproachful glance. Admin assumed that it was just more junk mail and tossed it by the shredder. If she hadn't found it, we'd probably never even known. Lynn runs her fingers through her messy hair.
啊，唔係.
Well, I guess we'd found out about it from the papers, eventually. She definitely extracts the entertainment pages from the stack of newspapers, covering a mess of half-eaten noodles and crumpled papers. Before long, they locate Noire's photo in a corner of the paper. Disgraced director's dark turn. Puppet abuse shocker. What do you mean by puppet abuse shocker? That doesn't make sense to me. At this point, they'll just say anything just to get their name on the papers. The photo was blurry to begin with, and the cheap print has left the picture all but undecipherable. Wow, not even my scandals are worth anything now. Noire gestures with her hands, sizing up the space with dissatisfaction. My picture is even smaller than Xing's. Could this have been someone from the crew? No, it's just a shot of me directing Xing and the others during a shoot. How dull. It's nothing. Just a story about puppets. Noire folds her arms behind her head, clearly unimpressed. I thought they might not have dug up something worth giving a flying. Anyway, I should check through these documents.
係關於新戲嘅 proposal.
It's another reply from another financer. Judging from your expression, this doesn't say how happy they are to be investing in the film. Lynn nods. But Noire's expected a barb never comes in. For Lynn, its absence brings a twinge of sadness. A couple of flops and that renowned director title doesn't quite carry the same weight, does it? Her eyes wander over the awards on the wall, and she chuckles bitterly. No hit means no guarantees. These awards are the only things keeping me fed. I'll use this one to sip my soup at lunch, and that pointy one with a spear, that could make for a decent fork. Might be a bit heavy. Oh, and the square one, a perfect candle holder for the table. Noire rearranges her awards, setting them on the highest shelf of the bookcase. Save for the ones on the far right-hand side, the others have gathered a layer of dust. Miss Noire, please, let's stop joking around for the moment. Instead, she gazes with utmost reverence at the row of awards. Affixed to the leftmost award is a Polaroid photograph. The corner of the photo has faded under the steady stream of sunlight filtering through the curtains. the center of the photo, Noire, Huijin, and Xixing beam with wide smiles, the hands cradling an award between them. Yeah. At that moment, the cast and crew were grounding in behind them, all smiling. It was the first of CO7's hits. Those were the glory days. Now, look at the Shadow Spy. The box office is in the pits. Deep in the pits. I somehow managed to get 3 awards for it. All the accolades. Without the audience... Her eyes don't drift from the shove.
你幫我
Had to blow my nose. Again. Could you take that photo down for me, Lynn? Lynn steps forward and hands the photo to her.
然後
Now sell whatever can be sold. What? Sell off whatever can be sold. The company, the awards, the house, the cars. Just leave the studio as it is. But where are you going to live? It will be a shift going forward, but at least I still have this sofa. She pats the sofa like an old friend. Lynn is still in shock, unable to determine if this is just another one of her jokes. And then, put everything we've got into the spring bloom.
你認真㗎？
You're serious? There is a momentary pause as she weighs their decision once more, then a nod. Shadow Spy, plain as day, the eyes of Smola, 3 bombs in a row. No one's going to gamble on me now. So it's either this or I leave this industry. I need this one. This is my last chance to prove Noire is still worth a damn. If that won't raise enough, then I'll set up meetings, make some social connections, and get the funding together, no matter what it takes. Lynn can't help but examine her employer. Outwardly, she doesn't seem any different, but it feels as though she has undergone a sudden transformation from within. Social connections? Selling everything that wasn't nailed down? None of this matches the woman she knows. The one who lived in a frozen world of silver salts and two-dimensional film moving frame by frame. Now it seems she's entered the world of the living at last. Miss Noire, I've never seen you like this before. Noire smiles at Lynn before steering her wheelchair toward the window. I realized how much I relied on her until she was gone. Without Teresa, I've got no chance of holding onto my spot in this savage industry. So if I want to stay afloat, let alone dream of reaching our former heights, I need to start employing a Huijin state of mind.
呢部戲會證明我已經脫胎換骨，所以就算使晒成副身家，我都
Oh, sorry. Because this may be my last shot. Her smile was beaming in the reflection of the window, yet it doesn't seem to hold any warmth.
所以
You're still studying my reaction, aren't you? Always trying to get a read on me? You make it sound so insidious. Her expression disappears from the glass. I'll get it done, Miss Noire. Oh, by the way, there's a letter for you from the hospital. The doctor wants you to reconsider going to rehabilitation. But is she gonna reject it, maybe? Leave it on the table. She glances back, but Lynn has already left the office. On the top of the stacks of tabloid newspapers lies an aqua blue letter. The hospital. That envelope matches the sky today. No wonder it says blue. Or is it purple? Noire sits in front of the window, waiting without a word for Lynn's reply, until the sun paints the sky a deep orange.
boss，
Oh, you're back. There is a palpable exhaustion in your voice. In the spring bloom, you'll need to arrange your shooting schedule. Right. She stretches and, with a soft motion, taps the aqua blue envelope. The doctor can wait. There's something more urgent I need to take care of. Yeah, she don't care about getting rehabilitated. It's not going to help her. It's not going to stop her. More importantly, I don't think she cares, actually. I don't think she can afford rehabilitation. And there's another one here. Alright. So we got a red staircase this time? Let me scan this real quick. Okay, so find a way to push an object onto these spikes to create a safe path forward. So I can climb up here, but the door is going to be locked. Right. Yeah, there's going to be something wrong right here. I don't know how am I going to solve that problem here and there. And I can't jump. I gotta think here. Let me think. Where there's colorblind mode? Huh. Oh, right. Anyone who doesn't see the colors. I am stupid. I'm dumb. I am so dumb. Wait a minute. What if I can do this? But that's gonna block me off. Alright. I'm trying to think here what I could do. I got an idea. What if I climb up here? I do this. I return to that. I push this here. Okay, brain was not working early, but I think I did something good. Alright, then climb up here. Then I use the spring to jump across here. Then what if I just push this here? You think so? Yeah, to create that space here. Oh! Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. I think I'm done goofed here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Alright, so... Okay, I think I got an idea. Alright, I think I did something wrong here. I could have just put a hole right here, but how am I supposed to climb onto this thing? Then I realized, hey, I just gotta push the big thing over yonder here. I think that hole was intended for this little guy to go down here. And I go down here. And push this all the way to there, and voila. I think I wasn't thinking straight enough. And there we go. In the bright, fragrant hallway, a nurse sets a cup of flower tea onto the low table before Noire. Miss Noire, you know you're already 6 months overdue for therapy. The nurse's words are as soft and sweet as white sugar. Sorry, I was shooting a film. After In the Spring Bloom releases, Lynn finally manages to convince Noire to return to the hospital. Please wait for just a moment. The doctor will see you shortly. Sure. The nurse offers a slight bow before heading back to her reception desk. Even in this private hospital, the waiting area is filled with people. All seats are fully occupied. At the far end of the hallway, a group of women stands by the wall, engaged in quiet conversation. Noire looks around briefly before patting the vacant spot on a wheelchair. Care to rest your legs for a while? As Lynn looks at Noire's smiling face, she can't help but sigh. Sometimes I wonder if things were better the way you were before. If I hadn't shaped up, then she and Elisa would have left the company. Did they say something to you? She shakes her head. I met an old partner at the launch party. He told me that they had already handed over their resumes to him.
但係最後
But in the end, they decided to stick around, didn't they? There seems to be nothing to discern from Noire's smile. All her emotions, good and bad, are locked up somewhere beneath it. Miss Noire, the doctor is ready for you. Please go in. Thanks. She nods to the nurse, who then grips the armrest of the wheelchair and pushes her into the room. It won't take long. I'll be out soon. She turns her head to say the words confidently. Well, judging by the scans, it appears you're recovering well, Miss Noire. The doctor uses a magnifying glass to examine the x-rays, pointing at a set of bones that Noire cannot identify. Based on your condition, with some surgical intervention and rehabilitation, we believe it's possible for you to regain the use of your legs. However, I see that you've been refusing rehabilitation so far. Is there something specific you're worried about? No. Noire smiles again. Then may I ask why you're refusing treatment?
因為
Because I need this. I needed this. Ignoring the doctor's confused look, Noire places her hand over her lifeless legs, gently smoothing out the wrinkles of her inner skirt.
對我嚟講，
These useless legs in this chair, they remind me that I never want to return to the way I was before. Handel's harp concerto in B-flat major weaves through the air from a distant radio, with only the harp's rich, soothing tones drawing the ear. That's it. Noire shuts her eyes, taking in a deep and steady breath. Aqua. And of course, it's going to be a lot of colors, isn't it? Like, really, a lot of colors. And Noire said again. On the set of In the Spring Bloom. Cut! As Noire's voice rings out, the leading couple in the spotlight pull away from their tight embrace with professional distance, the set around them coming to life with movement and chatter. Water is handed out and makeup is retouched. The crew members flit past the camera's frame, attending to their duties. In the corner tent, Noire and her assistant director stand by the monitor, speaking in low tones. A quick nod from Noire brings the script supervisor, megaphone in hand, toward the center of the set. That's a wrap, everyone! A wave of energy flows the announcement, but for a few present, the rush of completion is replaced with the impending task of finishing their work. At the far end of the set, two crew members rush forward, holding bright bouquets. They give them to the lead actors, then beg to take a photo to mark at the end of the filming. But the props team is bringing a bamboo ladder out to clear away the decorations. One by one, they begin to check and count the inventory, making sure nothing is left behind. Elisa heads back to the director's tent. Tonight, Miss Noire has organized up a wrap party at Lao. It's been a tough shoot, so we're all expected to eat, drink, and let loose. Let's have a great time. Thank you, Miss Noire. The news of the wrap-up party is in the evening lifts spirits all around. As the crew moves about, tidying up the set with relaxed efficiency, Noire turns to Lynn, observing her quietly. So, what do you think? It's a great New Year comedy, one that oozes your unique style, but with a lot of commercial appeal. No, not the movie. I want to know about the atmosphere of the set. On the set. What's your take? The crew is busy tearing down the set as the studio begins to take on its original appearance once more. This was the set for Shadow Spy once upon a time. It's a far cry from those days. The set is full of life now. Your transformation has had an impact on everyone. Noire lowers her head and smooths out the creases in her skirt. Really? Not bad. Not bad at all. With a tender touch, Noire's fingers glide over the fabric of her skirt. It's hard to tell what she's most pleased by. Right. Right. Before long, Noire emerges from the examination room, a smile on her face as she shares the details of what occurred inside. Once more, the same inscrutable feeling envelops Lynn. So, you're going to give up your legs? As some kind of reminder? It's more than that. They're a balance, or an anchor, if you will. A reminder not to lose myself in my own world again. Not to neglect the people around me. Noire's fingers run over the fabric of her skirt, and Lynn, now sure of it, realizes her earlier suspicion was right. They remind me how much I rely on all of you, and the price I paid when I lost her. All along, Noire has been silently thanking her legs. That's why I refuse treatment. And I intend to stay like this forever.
而且
I've told you before that I wouldn't let them interfere with my work. They haven't. But you, Lynn, you followed me this whole way. You even sold your clothes. Why didn't you ever consider leaving? You figured it out, didn't you? That outfit wasn't nearly old enough for you just to get rid of it for no reason. She recalls that day in her old purple suit. The day she told her a lie. It's just that I wanted to see what you could do. Whether you could really make it work.
咁你揾到答案未？
She gently pats Lynn, then pushes the wheelchair toward the hospital exit by herself. The golden rays glinting off the wheel are almost blinding. The high heels and clacking wooden puppet steps fade away beyond that I couldn't read again. I'm going to need you to take care of these doctors again. They've decided I need more psychological counseling. Oh, okay. There is some quiet satisfaction she takes in how her once tyrannical boss has become so dependent on her. Ugh. Alright guys, we're almost done here, so on to stage 6, yellow this time. An award ceremony. Alright, and now the films nominated for Best Director this year are Wang Changmai, A Century Away from Home, Zhu Ling, Liu Qing, The Codebreaker, and Noire, Where Shadows Walk. And the winner of the Best Director Award is Noire, Where Shadows Walk. Congratulations! On to gold, huh? Whatever that is, the color, whatever. The day before the awards ceremony. Boring, dull, trite, inane. Several scripts land on the floor. Noire taps the wheel impatiently. Why are all these films just rehashes of everything I've watched since the day I was born? Haven't we had enough of these already? These are all the scripts Elisa screened. There isn't a single one you're happy with? Switching around a few jobs and characters doesn't make a new story. Some of these arcs are totally incoherent. They've just been thrown in to match this year's box office template. I'm tired of reading them. I just imagine how much worse it will be for those poor audiences. There should be a writing meth period, 30 years at least, before filmmakers are allowed to use the same old tricks. Let us grow old in peace and try them again on the new generation. Noire waves her hand dismissively, prompting Lynn to gather the scripts from the table and throw them into a waiting trashing bin. Any response from the writers? The company's screenwriting team. Hang on, I gotta fix my rug real quick. I'm using it on my chair for a bit here. And it looks like it's not doing well. There we go. Alright. The company's screenwriting team, when Noire's films returned to the public eye, she was buried in opportunities from all directions. Old film companies with proud legacies, new conglomerates yet to enter the movie industry but eager to claim their share, and even a new unsavory underground organizations. No. However, I hear they're working on a crime flick. Another crime drama? The police certainly have their hands full, don't they? You have 8 meetings today, and 3 of them overlap. Somehow you'll need to squeeze in time for another script. And your first meeting started about 17 minutes ago. Noire is about to speak, but Lynn beats her to the punch.
我知你想講乜。
As the head of the film department, it's your duty to assess all new movie plans. And now you've got a boss of your own. Noire's half-parted lips move as if to speak, but then she considers. It beats having to deal with the telemarketers. With a casual wave, Noire maneuvers her wheelchair and exits the office. In the quiet of the night, following a full day of meetings, Noire finds herself alone on the company rooftop. Across the city, neon lights pulse in steady patterns, and headlights streak through the streets. A lively performance, but one devoid of joy. There's no sound but the soft rippling of wind. Staring out into the faint specks of light in the far distance of the night, Noire takes a cigarette from her pocket. As she moves to light it, a woman's voice startles her. Miss Noire? Her hand trembles and the cigarette slips from between her fingers, plummeting from the rooftop into the shadows below. That was my last one, Lynn. Noire turns her head, revealing a painfully phony smile. Why aren't you home already? I've been going through the minutes. It's late. Go home. I need a little space to focus on myself for a change, alright? What are you thinking about? What else? The film, of course. You're still thinking about it? Noire doesn't respond all at once, choosing instead to look back over the cityscape in silence.
呢度係一個國際性嘅大都市，燈紅酒綠，紙醉金迷。但係我而家只係坐喺度，幾乎一眼就望晒成個城市。呢度有無數個為夢想拼搏嘅年輕人，一邊住喺豆潤咁大嘅地方捱窮，一邊等住邊日行運，甚至出人頭地。但係等到嗰啲幸運兒爬到上嚟，佢哋會發現呢度都一樣係豆潤咁大。到時佢哋會係咩心情？
The skyscrapers at the limits of her gaze are nothing but darkened silhouettes, with green lasers tracing patterns far beyond them in the night sky. I guess it's close to how you feel right now.
唔滿足。
In the end, the inferno will devour all that surrounds them. Lynn observes Noire at her side, her expression now solemn as she fixes her gaze far beyond the skyline. I'm done with this city. My art belongs across the Pacific. Beyond these waves, not stuck between these little islands. Are you curious to see whether I'll succeed, or do you just want to be there when I crash and burn? Either one. Lynn snaps with a feigned indifference.
因為我都慢慢變緊好似你咁嘅人。
You know, to be honest, I think Lynn cares about Noire a lot.
多謝。
Ay, chingada. Ah, that hurts my ears. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Noire wheels herself onto the stage, her voice muffled at first as the microphone hasn't been lowered to her level. Whoa. I think that's her... Hold on a second. Let me take a look at this first. That's her inside 2 or 3 skin right here, right? That's gotta be. My thanks go out to the judges and the crew. This isn't just my award. This award belongs to all of us. Where shadows walk is the accumulation of so many people's combined effort and dedication. As she says this, Noire tilts herself toward the crew seating area, bowing courteously. The crowd erupts in applause once more. It's strange being back up here. So much has changed since the first time I stood on the stage. Noire taps the frame of her wheelchair, inflicting a round of good-natured laughter from the audience. It's tough, loyal, and always there when I needed it. If only we could say the same about everyone in our lives. Noire intentionally holds the silence, watching the faint flickers of awkward smiles forming in the crowd. The loss of a close friend, the crash, the paralysis. I won't lie. These past years have been hard, and I've been silent for much of it. A lot of people had their doubts about me. Some decided to abandon me entirely, and I don't entirely blame them. I've always thought of life as a montage of moments. With so much behind me now, my picture's completely changed. Just being able to be up here again is proof enough to the world that I'm still going strong. Noire gazes over the sea of faces beneath her. There are a few she knows, far more she's never met. Her mind lingers on those missing from the crowd, the ones who left the craft behind, the ones who didn't have a choice. She pauses, her head bowed in silent reflection. But as she lifts her gaze, her director's persona resurfaces.
再一次多謝大家支持。喺今日呢個重要嘅日子，我有一個消息想話俾大家知。
She's about to say, I'm about to leave your asses. I'm about to leave my country. I can make a new movie.
我已經決定同以前嘅自己講再見，開始一段新嘅旅程。請
Oh, so, damn it, I did it again. Her eyes sweep over the crowd, their shared tongue and similar upbringing reminding her of the connections they still hold. Until next year, everyone. Amid the audience's cheers, Noire makes her way down from the stage. Within half an hour, she and Lynn are already on a flight to Los Angeles. Take one final look. Noire lifts the shade covering the airplane window. It's only a matter of hours now. Then we'll be stepping into the great unknown. Are you ready for it, Lynn? Good night. Following Lynn's words, Noire lets her eye mask slip down, settling down comfortably into her chair. Good night. The runaway blurs beneath the plane as it speeds up, and after a fleeting moment of weightlessness, the pale dots of red and green below blur and vanish into the night. Goodbye. Good night. Yeah. I hope this is the final one here, little puzzle here, and on to the last stage, I believe. Alright, so, let me think. Alright. So, let us see. Oh. Hang on a second. I could push this here. Let's see if I can... got an idea. Not sure if I could do this right here, but... Alright, this is just... prepare myself here. Alright. Okay. What if I just landed here? Maybe. Alright, let's go up here. Alright, I knew there was a spring right here. But I gotta go here, I guess. And there we go. That was kind of easy, to be honest. Alright, I think this is our last challenge, last stage here to white. I hope it's a short one, too. Mommy, watch me. I can ride the horse now. How wonderful. Mommy loves me a lot. I know she does. So that's her young, huh? Look, Mommy, I drew this. That's lovely, my sweet girl. She was always so gentle and patient with me. Her words were a constant stream of encouragement and support. Mommy, can you listen to the new song I learned on the piano? You go ahead and play it, darling. Mommy still needs to finish chatting with whoever. Still deep down, I always felt she never tried to form a deeper connection with the person I truly was. All she wanted was for me to be a good girl. Until... Mommy, I heard the aunties chatting in the kitchen this morning. Yes? They said something inappropriate. Maybe. Her eyes were fixed on me, as if silently urging me to keep talking. Then it hit me. I'd found the perfect hook to keep Mommy's eyes on me forever. I needed to hold on to this moment and show her a part of myself she's never seen before. Auntie said that she lost her purse on her way to buy groceries this morning. Oh, and then? Auntie searched all along the way she'd walked, but in the end she had to go to wherever this is. You guys can read this. A lot. I don't keep up with that. It feels like Mommy's not fully focused anymore. Maybe it's because she already knew how the story would end. But then... I spoke louder to hold her attention. I had to think of something to change the course of the story. She saw that her pocket was torn, and her wallet slipped into the lining of her pants. So the wallet wasn't lost after all. But actually, it was all just a dream I had last night. I made it all up. I made up a lie to get her attention, and then made up another one to keep it. Oh, next time you should tell me that part of the story first. But if I had told you that first, how would I have managed to hold your attention? As she walked away, it was like she was stepping into a heavy fog formed by her other responsibilities, where she wasn't only a mother, she was a businesswoman, a leader, a manager. It was an expanse of white created by combining every color in the world. It's the best color to complement all the others. Without the white, we wouldn't be able to see the red clearly. Shh, she hasn't even figured out herself yet. 1991. Huh. Alright. Huh? What is going on? Oh, the phone's ringing. The bright incandescent bulbs fill the room with a solid white light. Her new studio is practically identical to the one she sold back home. Her first film, an old group photo, and the wheelchair she made the choice to depend on. It's a snapshot of my life, but it's still not enough to recreate an authentic version of me. Noire's fingers danced through her short hair, her head gracefully tilting to the right. A green light. Is this green metaphor really enough? She absorbs herself in thought. Or perhaps we need to alter the order of colors as they emerge from darkness. She mumbles. Standing in front of that grave, Qixing would be so angry with me. Noire nonchalantly waves her puppets away. They retreat back into her wheelchair. Maybe it's because I can only think of Teresa in situations like this. Lost in her thoughts, the wheelchair slowly rolls her back to the computer.
What do you think that was? A memory? Or a story? Do you think that's true? Really?
Noire powers up the computer, and a blue glow washes over her face. Her computer crashed.
Try as we might to disguise it, stories are just lies with good marketing.
And you are the observer to this little tale, so you alone have the power to judge. I think she just talked to us. A bit. And with that, that is the end of the story. Yeah. Weird. Okay, so that's it for... Oh, wait a minute. There's one more challenge. I was duped. Let's try this. So let's look at this. We have a big red block here. We can push this. Alright, let's try and climb up here for a bit. I want to see what I could do here. If it's wrong, it's wrong. What if I do this? Okay, what if I do this? I climb up here. Alright, what if I do this? Too bad I can't jump, right? No, I cannot jump. Alright, let's restart this over. Alright. What if I do this? I need to climb up here. Maybe. I need to make something out of this. I need to make some sort of pathway, right? Okay, we can do this here. Oh, no. Okay. Not sure when I can find this thing here. Okay, we can put this here and there. Yeah. There's an overlap here. Okay, I need to do... Okay. Alright, let's try this here. I'm just getting cooking here, guys. I have to cook here. I gotta think. Alright. I'm trying to think. I can't go back. I honestly cannot go back here. Right. So... I do not know. Wait a minute. I think I'm getting this wrong here. Okay, well, let's see if I can push this here. Then here. But I need to climb up back here, though. Alright. Alright, what if I push the blue over here? And then I change... I need to make it land over here. I go back over here. Wait. If I had to do that, then... Yeah, I knew I was right. Alright, let's think. I've already created one path. But I need to make another path for the ladder, so I can't jump, but I can move the boxes that are needed here. And I need to make a pathway. And there we go. That's it. I'm done with that. So guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hold on a second. You know, I actually quite enjoyed that little short story here. From the mind of a director who is pretty much concentrated in her own work, nothing distracts her, and then she gets into an accident, along with the news that her friend, who helped her with this career or this journey of her art, is long gone, and you could say that she lost meaning in her, and until the crash, and she finds a new purpose. Instead of ignoring everyone else, that she doesn't care what happens to the crew as long as their movie is perfect. And I think that crash gave her a rude awakening, a wake-up call, and she now respects her crew as well as her assistant. And I guess it's say that she has done a lot in her country. She decides to move to Hollywood to try to explore more into her work. That she learns a lot of new things in the trade of being a movie director. And hopefully it makes me respect her a lot more. She doesn't let anything stop her from doing what she does. And I gotta respect that. Now, it almost makes me want to try her survey, but I don't know if I want to or not. I'll probably just make a separate recording for that one. So, I guess I might do that when I start pulling for her. But I have a long way to go before that happens. So, again, I want to say thank you all for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please give this video a like or dislike. Any comments will be helpful, and I will be grateful if you checked out my channel. And if you enjoyed any of my videos, like and subscribe to my channel to support my channel. Your opinions matter, and I would love to hear, and I would love to read them all. I may answer some of them, but I may or may not answer them all. But I would love to hear your thoughts, and I would be grateful if you checked out my YouTube channel, checked out my videos. I do horror, this type of games. I'm starting to recently like to do any of the gacha games that I tried doing. But anything with a good story, and me for narrating these stories, is pretty much an exercise for me. To help out speak a little bit better. So far, it has yet working. It has yet to surprise me. So in the next video, I've already done both Liangwei and Noire's thing. Now I know in 6 days, Nojo Shiori, an old event, might come up soon. And I think what I'm about to do, I might do When the Alarm Sounds, because there is a challenge for it. Or at least, I'm not sure about Critter Crash, but I think I'm definitely going to go for the anecdote already, and that is Anyan's anecdote. And that might be the new video tomorrow in this video. I've already done the main event. I've already done both stories of each of the banner characters. But I guess the anecdotes are just extra stories, and a lot of narrating for me. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. I'm repeating myself. So, again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in a new video. So, peace out, and have a great weekend.